Members of the board. From Boardroom Productions, it's Boardroom Banter. Featuring your chairman of the board, David.
What is happening, everybody?
Chief Mayhem Officer, Derek.
Yo, 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 what is up?
And myself, Greg, your Chief of Obscurity. The following content is explicit. Discretion is advised.
Welcome, everybody, to Boardroom Banter. My name is David. To my left is Derek.
What is up?
And over across to my right tonight is Mr. Greg.
That's me.
Hope everybody had a great week. Here to start your weekend the right way. Please like, share, subscribe, follow whatever platform you are on. We would greatly appreciate it if you like what we have been putting out. Welcome to episode 21. Not brought to you by Boardroom Banter Ale. It's our only non-sponsor, not a sponsor.
Get it nowhere.
Exactly.
Could be a sponsor, and then you'd still get it nowhere.
Exactly.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great if they became an official sponsor, Boardroom Banter Ale.
And Oldie gave it to us.
Yeah.
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 And then we
only
could
us.
totally not post pictures of it. Pictures, and then we'll blur them out.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Kind of like Chinese porn.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, you're already watching it. Like, you're on a porn site. Like, why is it blurred out? I don't get it.
It's the pubic hair.
Really? Mm-hmm. It's not the dong. It's not. Nope. It's just the pubes? Mm-hmm. So if they shaved it all clean, there would be...
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
How much pubes do they have, bro? Because those fucking little cartoon fucking Lego things are huge on them.
Is it censored out because of laws, or are they censoring it out because of decency?
I think it's a modesty thing, to be honest. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what it is.
Here I am thinking that it's Godzilla of the Chinese man schlong, but it's really fucking Bob Marley of the pubic hair.
If anyone has the ins and outs to Japanese porn, please let us know in the comments. Because
yes.
I believe that is why you have some that are blurred and some that are not.
Or you could send us an email if you wish to remain anonymous. We will repost what you sent anonymously in the comment sections on your behalf, boardroombanter@gmail.com.
It's kind of frustrating, really, because I had Skinamax when I was like 11 years old, and that feels like the same thing.
Close enough.
I think that's an interesting place to split the hair.
Nice pun.
Sure. I know, that was very punny of me. You can show a sex act, but the pubic hair is what triggers. I could understand if they were like, look, we're just not going to show penetration because, that's where we draw the line.
Because we can't.
Morally. Yeah. Because of laws prohibiting it.
Sorry, didn't mean that.
Because of laws prohibiting it. But to say it's because of the puberty, I just find that to be very interesting. If that's true, I'd really like to know why, like, the philosophy behind that.
Unblur it.
I think it's just cultural norms and customs that we're not used to here in America.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, okay.
So custom traditions and things here in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fighting your brother is one of those. Like, you fucking beat the shit out of each other. You fight. You do the thing. You already know who's won, maybe once, twice, 3 times. Even me and Mr. Greg were talking about this earlier because he had said something about his little brother, and I'm like, who would win in a fight? But this has nothing to do with that conversation. Conversation I am talking about is when Jake Paul and fucking Logan Paul did their little stance thing now, and now they're fighting. So they're fighting next month.
Please.
Like, is this the round of the retards? Like, every brother has fought. Like, I don't want to see them fight and pay for it on TV.
Take it with a grain of salt. You know why? Because, what was it, 4 episodes ago? It was Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I told you that wasn't going down.
So they can't even get anybody to fight them, so they have to fight each other now.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably. That's probably how it's going to go down.
They have no cred, bro.
No, they really don't.
You can only be a laughingstock for so long before people ignore you.
Logan should just stick with the WWE and deal with all the other legal matters that he's dealing with.
I'm sure we could bring up videos, like family videos from years ago where you guys already fought.
Probably.
Like,
probably.
Well,
Although, to Jake's credit, he wasn't all yoked out at fucking 250 pounds. And
The only cool thing that I did see on that is like there was another clip I was watching beyond that, which kind of did give Jake Paul kind of a hands up or like a hey, good job, because it was showing him in his first UFC fight, and Dana White was actually in an interview. And he was like, what's this YouTube star doing? He's fighting a kid that actually knows how to fight. I would bet $1 million against him that he would lose this fight. And then Snoop Dogg came on. I don't know if any of this is true, but it was on like a little, video. And Snoop Dogg was like, you don't even want to bet your boy, like when he first started, right? Like his first fight. And he was like, you don't even want to bet $1 million on your boy? Like, you bring him in and I'll bet $2 million. And like Jake, he ended up destroying that guy in that fight and winning.
That was probably Ben Askren.
Wow.
That was probably the Ben Askren fight.
That was like the first big
professional
fight that he had.
Yeah. That was
But just saying, like,
stupid of Ben Askren to even step in the ring.
We're talking Conor McGregor. We're talking he just fought Mike Tyson. He's calling out all these other fucking people. And
how's he going to go from Mike Tyson to Conor McGregor? Those are two completely different spectrums.
To your
ways.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
This is why people don't respect you.
Do you know what I think is going to happen? They're going to spray so much of that shit that they spray all over while they're fighting that they're just going to knock each other out.
Yeah.
You think they're going to walk each other out spraying it at the same time?
They probably will.
They're probably going to be spraying it down each other's shorts at the same time.
And now this guy's doing ads with Celsius too, Jake Paul, and he's fucking, you know how I run 10 miles a day? Motherfucker, if I was chugging Celsiuses while I was running 10 miles a day, I would be throwing up the fucking rainbow all over the
my
sidewalk.
stomach would be very, very hurty.
So I really doubt that he's running 10 miles a day on Celsiuses.
Well, it reminds me of the Red Bull commercials too, and I love all the X Games people they show on there. Like Travis Pastrana chugging half a Red Bull, jumping out of an airplane with no parachute. Two other guys putting the parachute on him.
Yeah, he got banned from skydiving after that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because that's like not allowed.
Yeah. That's just nuts.
But just saying, like, look where you at the pinnacle, like a little bit ago. You were fucking fighting Mike Tyson. Now you're going to be fighting your brother.
Well, I had a feeling that him going in the ring with Mike Tyson would be the downfall of what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Again, it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Win or lose.
Well, and a lot of these guys, like we just said, they don't respect him because he's not
a terrible fight.
He's not a boxer.
But
like,
it was such a terrible fight.
And you saw from both sides. People say Jake Paul held back. People say Mike Tyson held back. You see some instances where Mike Tyson kind of went back and then started biting the glove a lot and shit. Like, did he hold back? Did Jake Paul hold back? I mean, they both got paid at the end of the day.
Yeah, they both did. They both got paid.
Really, it's all about how they presented it.
But it's like you and your brother aren't even the same fucking weight class.
Yeah.
Most of the guys he's fought aren't even in the same weight class.
No.
For the first time, the Tommy Fury, I believe that was one of his first fights where he actually weighed in with his guy, and then same thing with Tyson. But the other fights, I think there was like, I don't think there was, it was mostly catch weight or something like that, I believe. No one.
It's like a fucking
fucking fighting Nate Diaz. Dude, Nate Diaz is a solid 170 at best, and I believe Jake Paul was still weighing in at like 185 or something for that.
Yeah,
before he started yoking out.
Yeah, I mean he's
getting on them good supplements.
He's really on the juice.
Very good supplements.
Yeah, scientifically discovered supplements.
I mean, there is some proof. Just like somebody we knew, they just told me that they're going on a WWE cruise, which I couldn't imagine the people on that cruise. Right, but
the whole cruise ship is a bunch of 40-year-old dudes smacking each other with
chairs.
Chairs.
They're gonna have a ring.
Tubes.
They're gonna have a ring in the center of the cruise ship,
boy.
and I told them I better see some fucking people jumping off the top of the rings, like doing some shit. But you know who's gonna be there? Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner.
No
You remember this
kidding.
motherfucker?
Yeah.
Really? You remember how big that fucker was?
He had huge biceps and tiny hands.
Google pictures of him now,
Hey,
please.
yo.
Oh my god. This
Let
guy,
me see.
like Big Papa Pump now, like they've taken some pictures down with his gut and deflated muscles, but like I wouldn't even recognize him if I went on that cruise ship. He's like some special star on there. It's the Chris Jericho cruise.
Oh, that's kind of Jericho's still really big in the
Walls
game.
of Jericho.
I won a Jericho shirt, so I used to go to like Gold's Gym, and they had this little thing you used to fill out, put your name in, little slips, and I won from Kmart back in the day. Chris Jericho shirt. It was
Very
very cool.
That's cool.
But Big Papa Pump is not Big Papa Pump anymore.
No. Well, that's
I'm
what
not.
happens.
I'm
when
not
you,
finding these bad pictures of him.
Are you not?
That's what happens when
Let
you
me
get
see.
off the gear.
Let me
Yeah.
see. But that'd be kind of an interesting cruise, I think, to go on. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm sure it would be fun. Maybe. I don't see a ton of difference in this photo set, David.
I mean, for instance,
Not a big, but I would say he was still wrestling at that time. Is he?
Yeah.
I don't think he's still actively
I
wrestling
don't think so
anymore.
either.
Yeah, that's definitely a little more worn out.
Well, there's some age showing there.
I mean, but there was this other one with his gut, dude, that I found it was pretty good. But I mean, compared to what the dude was, like, the guy was a fucking beast. Like, look at that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Yeah.
world class. World class. I mean,
He was
he could
super
have
juiced.
he could have actually went into
Bodybuilding and
oh,
shit.
yeah.
And yeah, but
I
you'll
mean,
have
even-
to research.
even look
There's
at,
some pictures on there of him now that
even
are
look
like,
at, like,
holy shit.
Triple H, dude. Triple H was yoked out to the freaking gills, and see him nowadays, and not so much anymore.
You know the one you see nowadays, though, that's fucking yoked out to the gills is The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wasn't as big in professional
he
wrestling.
had a reverse transformation.
He had a reverse transformation. He's open about it now, but you look at that guy now and
He's
it's like,
not, he still says he eats a clean diet and eats like 80,000 calories a day and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
I have seen interviews and heard somewhere he's openly admitted to using steroids.
That must have been very recent because when he was on Rogan, he still denied it on Rogan.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He hit Pacific Islander puberty. Where
No,
they
bro.
where they become massive stone men at the age of like 45 or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're meaning to tell me when you're like getting drafted to be a professional football player, you're not going to be as big as you can get, opposed to going into fucking wrestling, and then after your career you balloon up like a well?
Yeah,
Fuck
'cause
you.
Wrestling, dude, he looked natty in wrestling.
He did.
He looked very natty in wrestling.
Very. You looked at
And
him
then-
compared to the other guys.
And then they're like, hey, we want you in this movie, but you're not big enough.
Not big enough.
You're not big enough. Okay, I'll quit wrestling. Me.
Oh boy.
He's fucking huge now.
Yeah.
Dude, he's pushing like 60 years old almost.
And fucking massive.
Yeah.
Well, and he's cut too.
Yeah. You don't get those kind of
Dude's
muscles
like-
unless you're fucking doing
He's like 4 or 5% body fat at best.
It's not fucking Ozempic.
Freebasing Ozempic.
Yeah.
Intravenous Ozempic.
He probably takes that as like his night stack.
Yeah, oh boy. Who knows?
So that was I don't know, but that whole fight thing's kind of funny to me. Like, you're talking all these huge names, you're throwing out all this shit. You just fucking fought Mike Tyson, and now you're squaring off with your brother.
Yeah, it's like I said, the fad's gonna die out quick, and it already is starting to.
I mean, the dude can retire now, and he's made all his money.
Oh, he's made a shit ton of money. I mean, credit to him.
Yeah.
he's made a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
But at what cost?
Is he trying to get his other brother paid now? Is that why Jake Paul's fighting him?
And cover
He's
them
gonna-
legal fees, man.
I mean,
He's going to retire when he realizes that people are tired of him and his 5 minutes of fame is gone.
people
and
were
just
tired
buy
of him when he was
gems.
on YouTube as a kid, though.
Oh, yeah.
He was a Disney star. He was one of those Disney kids.
Well, gee, Disney's not known to create absolute monsters when they reach adulthood.
Huh?
Yeah, look
At
at their
all.
fucking
Yeah,
lineup.
most all of them are.
Wasn't Britney Spears there? And I've said
She
my
was one
fucking
of
comments
them.
about them.
Yep.
Justin Timberlake was about the only one that seemed to have been.
He just got a DUI a little
I
bit
know,
ago.
Yeah, there's been some videos of him where he looks like he's all fucking coked out of his mind and shit too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so
There's been a lot of videos of Conor McGregor about
Miley
that, too, like Coke
Cyrus.
Connor and shit. And I
Miley
don't know how true
Cyrus
that is.
Yeah,
was a
Miley.
Disney star.
yep. There's a lot of them. A lot of them.
Well, and she's Billy Ray's daughter. That
I just
alone
read an
was
article
childhood
about
trauma.
I just read an article about him that I guess that guy's fucking like wrecked.
Oh, really?
Like his kids haven't even talked to him for a couple years or something. And
Really? Billy Ray Cyrus?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, there was just a thing about that because I guess didn't he perform at the inauguration or something
I don't know I don't think
or
it was
something around there.
It was
something.
Jason Aldean and Carrie Underwood, and I'm not sure.
I thought it was Billy Ray.
He may have been, but I know for sure Jason Aldean was there.
Yeah,
And then Carrie Underwood, and there's all this hubbub now because I guess she was supposed to be a judge on American Idol, and now there's this big hubbub about having her as a judge because she fucking did Trump's inauguration.
Yep, so he did do the inauguration, too.
I thought that show was about music, not politics.
And she was like their biggest star at the time.
Yeah.
'Cause she actually won that.
Carrie
Second place
Underwood,
or won that show.
She won that
way
show.
back then,
Yeah.
you know. Which, credit, I don't like Carrie Underwood. I respect her music, but I don't like her voice.
She's probably the biggest person that ever made it from... I mean,
Yeah.
Daughtry was pretty big there, but
Yeah.
he never won it.
Yeah. But I don't like her voice. There's something about her voice that's like nails on a chalkboard to me when she sings.
Yeah.
But the music, I respect the music. I mean, she's big. I get it. Cool. Like, my wife absolutely loves her.
I just like the auditions.
I will give credit where credit's due, at least at the inauguration, because they were having technical difficulties when
I heard she did a cappella and killed
so
it.
she just
Yeah.
fucking sang a cappella, and I was like, all right, cool. Like,
Well, and like it was nothing to her to do it too.
yeah, she
Just
didn't have to.
Made it look easy.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. You got some extra respect for me. On that one.
I'm not a fan of her either. I know she's a megastar and
Yeah.
all that, but I don't like listen to her music on Pandora or anything.
Oh,
or
shut up. It's
Spotify.
on your top fucking list.
No, definitely not.
My kid absolutely loves her too. So 3.5, she's already singing Carrie Underwood songs, which, hey, cool, whatever.
Could be worse.
But we'll see where your fucking fame goes from here, too, Jake Paul. I mean, you've... You know,
As I said, maybe another couple years at best, but
if that.
I don't see it really going much further than that.
Yeah, tip
Unless he makes the crossover and goes into MMA. And
I thought you meant the
and-
crossover becoming a woman and then dominates that sport, too.
No, unless he actually crosses over and does MMA, because then he has to fight legit people in legit weight classes. He
I don't
has to
think-
make weight. He has to do everything right.
It's too hard for him.
I don't think Dana would accept his application.
No, he would have to come up first.
Yeah.
I'm sure PFL or 1FC, like one of those guys. I'm sure one of those guys would sign him immediately and then prove himself, and then who knows, we would see. But I could also see Dana signing him just to throw him into the fucking meat grinder.
Oh, yeah.
And just
prove to the
Yep.
world that he's not who he says he is.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yep.
Well, he branded it, all this wrong. If he had just branded it as entertainment or exhibition,
How many millions of dollars has the guy made? I don't think he branded anything wrong. I think he's done too much. I think he's hit the pinnacle of his career. I don't think he can do too much.
Well, there's only
more.
there's only so much gimmick
yeah,
that you can do.
that's what I'm saying. If he had represented himself like anything other than I'm a serious professional fighter, he would have got a longer gig out of it.
I mean, of the fights
you know?
that he's done, he has fought one actual boxer, and that was Tommy Fury.
Tyson was an actual boxer
dude.
a long time ago.
Okay, a long
Mike
time
Tyson's
ago.
old enough to be your dad, bro.
No, he'd be old.
He'd
be
still
your
knock me
grandfather.
out, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking shit about Tyson. Don't get that twisted. I would never talk shit about Mike Tyson.
But
But
Yeah,
he is old enough to be my dad.
true.
So,
that's what I mean by the gimmick.
It was all for show.
yeah.
He's only fought like one legit boxer his age, his weight. I mean, granted, that they weighed in about the same on that one, but still, it's just you're talking about a guy that was 60 years old, 61, something like that. Okay,
Well, and they're friends.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was, however long training camp is before a fight where you're building, your mindset to go in and brutalize this person
Yeah.
in any way possible with your fists.
that's why even Canelo, he's called out Canelo, and Canelo's like, "Yeah, I'll pass," and that'd be right in there. That's weight class, everything like that, and even Canelo's like, "Yeah, fuck you, dude. Like, get out of here."
Yeah, if you come at me with a contract for an exhibition fight, that might be a different story. But if you want to come in and just try to gain your credibility with smoke and mirrors, then get what you get.
Yeah, but I do. I give it another couple of years, and then
Less than that.
we'll never hear of it ever again.
Speaking of ever again, I don't think it will ever again experience a colder, more refreshing beer than Boardroom Banter Ale.
Until the next one.
Until the next one. and then that one will be equally as cold and refreshing.
Or better.
Just a shame that nobody will ever have the same experience we do.
No one actually will.
Ever.
That's what makes us better than everybody else.
So I said I had a couple things. The only other thing that I thought was kind of interesting, because I look and scroll the news when I'm in bed in the morning before I go to the gym. That's kind of my thing. And I thought it was kind of funny that now P. Diddy's trying to countersue for $50 million.
There's that. Supposedly some witness for something else is now trying to implicate him as like, the guy that apparently is charged with murdering Tupac. He's implicating Diddy as the guy that ordered the hit on Pac.
Really?
Yeah. So
the only other one I saw is that Diddy's assistant made him have sex in front of him to keep his loyalty to the
brand,
Diddy,
to the brand,
to the fucking.
What is that? Johnson and Johnson?
I think it's Diddy and Diddy.
Yeah, it's,
Diddy and Ditney.
Diddy and Pity.
Like I said, man, it's just I can't wait for this trial to actually start, so we can actually. It probably won't be televised. It would be great if it was, but once these documents and the real court proceedings start, man, it's going to get interesting. Because there's rumors now that there's one of these videos that are out that, well, it's not out, but one of the videos that they keep talking about supposedly has Bieber on it. Whether that's true or not, it's all speculation. We don't know, but it's all speculation. But there is rumor now that one of the videos contains Bieber on it as like a high A-list celebrity that is contained within one of these videos of.
So let me ask
Sexcapades?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, just side note.
Yes.
Is Justin Bieber Gen Z's Macaulay Culkin?
He could be. I could see that.
That poor guy.
A little bit. Macaulay Culkin was cooler.
They're because there's
Definitely less douchey.
Supposedly now, like his marriage supposedly is starting to like come apart or something like that with Hailey Bieber and this and that, and they think that they're speculating that it's because of all this that's going on.
Oh boy.
So,
well, that sucks. I mean, it's not like I'm a Bieber fan or nothing.
I always knew that guy was fucked up.
Yeah. I really think that
looks like a penis just like that.
Looks like the Cheetah's penis, maybe.
That's why you don't beat off after eating Cheetos.
Right. Permanently stained.
Sorry for people that don't know. My daughter, before we started recording, brought in this. I don't even know what the hell you call this thing. They're like dots that are like kind of sticky, and it's almost like a different version of Play-Doh. Put it that way.
Cleaner.
It's like a stimulation toy.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, you can mold it in different shapes, and so I rolled it out, and
it's almost foamy.
And it actually does. It looks like a big Cheeto because it is orange and whitish in color and stuff and things.
Different shades of orange.
Yes, 50 Shades of Orange.
50 Shades of Trump.
I saw another one too, a video, which I'm sorry, I live on fucking videos, which the people watching us probably live on videos, and we live on videos, and that's our life. That's why we kind of do this shit.
That's why we do this opposite. We do this in audio.
Yeah. So you don't have to see our videos along with everybody else's.
Yes.
But I did see that he signed some orders of everything, like the presidents that have gotten assassinated and all this other shit.
Yeah,
and all this that's going to be declassified and probably be all blacked out like fucking everything else was.
I'm hoping it won't be. I mean, if it's going for full declassification, it shouldn't be.
Which is that true? Did he get that and that was signed? Like he signed that with all that with it?
RFK, JFK, MLK.
I thought it was. Wasn't a Lincoln too? I heard Lincoln in there. No.
What would have made me real happy is if he would have included the 9/11 files in that one. That would have made me extra happy. But hey,
I can think of some other files I'd like to know, or lists.
Yeah, UFOs, that kind of stuff.
Epstein's list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you
Epstein
see what I'm
for
saying
sure.
there.
But hey, all we have to do is hope that I would think that if Kash Patel gets stuck in that office for FBI director, we may still see that.
Yeah,
we may still get the FBI to release the Epstein list.
Yeah, I would be very interested to know
Yeah,
if there's any kind of actual evidence.
They wouldn't have any more Hollywood, dude, if they brought that list out. Like, there would be no more A-listers. Like, how much people would go down? Like,
well, you also have to look at it from the perspective of just visiting that island did not make you one of those people. He didn't just have those kind of evil, hellish kinds of events there. I'm sure there was other regular stuff there too.
I'm pretty sure before Jared Fogle got caught, he visited that island.
It'd be interesting to see that.
Exactly. I want to see the list.
Yeah.
I just want to know who was on the plane.
Yeah, I think but it's. I'm sure there's a big legal reason why they're not doing it.
No, it's not that there's a big legal reason. It's because they're trying to save face for a lot of the names that are.
We wouldn't have half of Hollywood.
Or probably even
half of politicians, half of anything.
I would think there would be a lot of people on that would go down.
Oh yeah, well, I'd love to see that.
But again,
who's going to take their place?
But here's the thing, though: being on the list doesn't mean that you're culpable of any crimes.
Well, that's what
you're just on the list,
yeah.
And then we're going to know who's on the list, and then we get to flesh out what the fuck actually happened. Just let us just see.
It's like P. Diddy's list. Some people have made it out clean. Ashton Kutcher, I don't hear anything about you. There's a lot of pictures, but I don't hear anything. I hear it now.
He's still married to...
that's what the Church of Scientology is for.
Right?
They definitely do a good job at... I mean, dude, look how long it took before Danny Masterson finally got popped out of all that shit.
True.
Years. And
that poor stupid bastard.
It was mainly them that helped keep that shit under wraps. Like
Dude, I'm telling you, when I went to Clearwater, what was it? Not this year, of course, because it just started, but last year in like January, February, that is where like the Scientology capital is.
Oh, really?
Of like the world, I guess. Like I think I'm saying that right. Like they have their temples there and everything, and like the whole town is based on Scientology. But it's fucking weird, man. Like you drive downtown and all of them are like kind of dressed the same. They're all walking busy. They're all going to different buildings. They're all doing their...
You gotta be careful with the dude, that's one you gotta be careful with.
No, it's crazy.
They will fuck with you hard.
No, I know.
Yeah. Well,
But it's kind of crazy. Like, it was cool to, like... It's very secretive, right? Like, even when I was in that whole town, like, everybody knows about it, but it's still...
Yeah.
And, like, that's where Tom Cruise has, like, his huge bachelor pad. Not bachelor pad, but the penthouse suite or whatever is there in Clearwater. A lot of, like, A-listers have a lot of... Hulk Hogan lives there.
Well, yeah, I mean... The Hulkster in Florida, duh.
But no, that specific area, I think, like, is it Mel Gibson? No.
Ooh.
No, not Mel Gibson. Who was the other? I don't know.
No,
but I know
Mel is definitely
Christian.
Far.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But there's a lot of, like, people that live there that are Scientology people or have houses there.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's some pretty interesting documentaries out there.
I wonder if
I always have a hard time trusting those. It's very easy to just make a show about your opinion.
No.
It doesn't necessarily make it facts, right?
That's true. And mostly anymore nowadays, you have to flesh out so much shit anymore.
Yeah.
Of what's true and what's actually fake. I actually don't mind it that there's so much bullshit now in terms of that. Because it forces you to actually research and flesh it out yourself.
Yeah.
Versus just taking anything at face value like it used to be.
Using reasonability.
Yeah. Because you used to just take everything at face value, but then, you kind of recognize nowadays, like, some of the shit that you were fed was, oh, that was actually bullshit.
Yeah, like 99% of it you hear on the news.
So then, when you become a skeptic like that, then literally anything you hear, you're like, I'm going to look into that.
Yeah. So here you go. The documents revealed that the Church of Scientology came to Clearwater with a written plea to establish its program headquarters, its School of Theology, so to speak, in the old Fort Harrison Hotel and to take control of the city. But yes, that's where their headquarters is. It's Clearwater, Florida.
It's quite an interesting theory behind Scientology and how it all came along. If you haven't dove into it and you're looking for a rabbit
Isn't it by a guy that fucking wrote fiction?
He was a science fiction novel.
Science fiction novels that,
Yeah,
and he started his whole fucking being of something, whatever it is.
Yeah. So if you can remove the stigma from the word while I say it, a cult. It's a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Just by the literary definition, I'm not trying to compare it to like the evil cults you hear about. When you hear the word cult, you think about mass suicides and all kinds of crazy shit. But not every cult is like that, and anything that's an organized religious belief can fall into that if it's viewed from the correct angle.
Bro,
right.
Talking about cults, though, and with this whole shit, like, I know I've said it. I'm from Utah. They have a lot of Mormons. Now that I've watched American Prime Evil, and I'm fucking deep into this thing, like, holy fuck.
I'm still not finished.
These
with it,
Mormons are fucking savages.
Okay,
bro.
so I'm episode 5, so no spoilers.
Dude,
no spoilers.
No, I won't. But I'm just saying, like, I've always disassociating myself from the Mormon church. But if I knew these fucking dudes were fucking rolling around at these times, like, holy shit, bro.
Those were pioneer days, dude. Everybody was savage.
You know, it's interesting with that show is most of the time, if you get really interested in watching a show, you'll just binge right through it.
Yeah.
That's a show where
You can't.
I can watch one episode and I'm like, I'm good to sit on that for a few days.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think, well, the missus and I have been watching it, and, you know, particularly throughout my work week, I have very little time for TV, and I'm okay with that. So it's hard because we'll put it on when we lay down to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Right. And we lay down in bed planning an hour of time to watch a show together, chit chat, do couple stuff, you know. And she ends up falling asleep within 30 minutes, but I always have to like stop, and I don't want to stop. I want to stay up and watch the next episode. But
yeah, no, that's one where I can easily watch an episode and like I can digest that for a couple days. I'm good.
I was even talking to another work colleague on this, and they were like, so I saw the first episode, and they're like, I was waiting for it to slow down, man. Like, but every episode, like, just fucking is savage.
Even the opener in that first episode, I was like, wow, okay, way to set the fucking tone. I mean, even just like when they were going through, when the chick and the son were going through that trade post, you know, and just how raw it looked, you know, with the fucking, when they were fucking butchering the animals and shit like that, and didn't look, I mean, it looked just dirty. You know, like dirty, like how it should have been probably back then. Like, it ain't gonna look clean, you know, like they do in most movies and whatnot. Where you're like, oh, that looks sanitary. No, that looked very unsanitary. Is what that looked like. Just little things like that, you know, to kind of capture the fact that you are in, you know, the wild West.
it really does set the scene.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. And then that arrow.
Oh, yeah.
When they're in the fucking wagon train.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that caught me good.
Yeah.
It actually made me get that little jump. I was like, oh, shit.
You're like, oh, fuck.
The attention to detail on that was so good. You see the eye roll?
Yeah. All of it.
Yeah.
That actually was a real event, by the way.
I figured
Yes, it was.
some of this was based historically.
Yes, so they have
a lot of it's based historically.
Yes, so they have a lot of stuff that's based historically, woven in with fictitious things to make a story out of it.
Right.
And I've heard of it, like in the LDS faith and stuff. Like, I've heard of the Mormon massacres, as they called it. But of course, a lot like polygamy and different things. Like, the Mormon Church fucking pulls a huge blanket over all that shit, because that's not who they are now. That's who they once were. And, you know, there's all these different sectors of LDS now. But
and
like,
they weren't even close to the first people to do it.
no,
Not even like anywhere, not even a mile close.
No.
Yeah.
but I mean, for a religious group to fucking take that much stance,
Oh, dude. Woo.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, the
They did
numbers
whole-
and fucking everything. And
They just wanted to be left alone.
Yeah. And in a way, you can't blame them. Like, it's supposed to be land of the free.
Yeah.
Well, we're choosing this. And
Well,
we just,
that's how they ultimately. I mean, that's how the West got settled. They fucking advertised everyone in the colonies and abroad in other countries, and they'd say, "Hey, come to America, fucking go get your land."
Yeah.
So
Go
that's what
stake
people
your claim.
Yeah, go stake. I mean, that's what people did. They fucking immigrated here and just went west.
yeah, then they met the fucking Indians that were scalping them.
They met.
that
what
was
existed?
a hardcore scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They met what was existing.
Surprised
out
that
here.
fucking dude lived.
You know, I will say at least the one thing
Probably wouldn't have.
that I like that they show in the show is the kind of the warring between certain tribes,
Yeah.
you know, where they just fucking slaughter their own.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't their own. They were a different tribe. I like at least that they're depicting that kind of side of things, because we all know that shit wasn't all peace and tranquil. over here.
And I have some
historically accurate, somewhat at
Yeah,
least.
yeah.
I have some really like close friends that are Native American, or like I was raised around those people too, and a lot of the Native prides and stuff. And like I've heard from some of those people, like their ancestry, like they were fucking savages, man.
Yeah.
Like they would go around scalping, killing, fucking.
There were some that were peaceful. There were plenty that were peaceful and tranquil kind of people, and then there were others that they'd fucking come like Vikings, ransack your village, kill everybody in it, rape the women, take all that, and fucking slaves and yada yada.
And that's where it's kind of like, was it their land? Yeah, but did we take the land? Yeah, but did you go do that to us? Yes, but should have? No. But it's a fucking constant battle.
Yeah.
Really, if you look at cultures around the world at that period of time, it wasn't like color or culture that was separating them.
It was land.
Well, no, what I'm saying is in every demographic at that period of time, there was a group of people doing not that, and there was a group of people doing that. So really, everybody was doing the same shit at that point in time in the world, pretty much.
It was figuring themselves out. How about that?
I'm not saying it's like right or wrong. It was just the natural progression of things.
It's just a fact of life. And then,
Yeah.
then you get to a point where everything is known, everything is discovered. So you can't really move borders that much further when the expansion of people out there. I mean, there's so many different factors to it, but then at some point that expansion just slows to a halt.
Yeah.
To where we are today. And you have all the borders everywhere between America, Mexico, there's Russia over there, China borders that, like,
oh yeah,
nothing really moves that much anymore in terms of territory anymore, besides, what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. But I mean, that's first kind of territorial, like real territorial dispute in what, a couple decades?
They still want Alaska from us. We won't give it to them.
Yeah. Putin's just mad because his team lost in the early 90s.
I don't know. He I think
he wants
it's
the
more
old school
lucrative
way of things going too.
Well,
man.
it's more lucrative the way Russia's set up now than it was then.
Yeah.
He's just more like regime type dude, isn't he? Like how he was, and he wants it back to the old ways and wants it like more regimed and more.
I don't know about like old ways,
not old ways, but
he definitely puts himself as kind of the someone that knows the history of the country. And
because he was there.
What they've been through.
He actually fucking went through a lot, man. I mean, that guy.
Hey, he was ex-KGB and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you went through some shit. You did some shit.
He wants to get the band back together, but he wants to do modern communism. But he's a dictator.
I don't even know if you want to call it communism.
Yeah.
It's just they have a very interesting way of
maybe closer to
running
socialism.
Things. No, I mean, the authoritarianism definitely has to be there for what they do, because between all the oligarchies and all that kind of stuff that they have in there, I mean, it's kind of like the old Tsars back in the day of Russia. I mean, the style, it's.
I don't like what you're watching. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. Just crazy rules there. I don't like what you're watching. Turn it off.
Yeah, I mean,
can't watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of, but you got to realize though too. I mean, the culture. I mean, dude, Russian culture is so different. It is.
I mean, every culture is a lot different than ours.
Yes, but dude, Russian culture is just different. I mean,
Definitely.
I've known a lot of Russians in my life. It's just a very different culture.
It's like me, man. Like when I used to go to Mexico a lot, like Mexico's like a different kind of culture, but it's like 10 years behind America. Like they don't really care about cell phones and this and that and Instagram and Facebook. So like I used to love it there, but I get what you're saying about like cultures and different beliefs.
It's just a very hardened personality from over there.
I mean, those motherfuckers were defending their territories with AK-47s on their front porch when they were 11. What were we doing? Playing with fucking cars in a dirt pile?
Pretty much.
I mean, let's be real.
It's just, it's a very hardened.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, the men and women over there.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really, a lot of them didn't have childhoods. A lot of them didn't have the free living that we did. A lot of them had to grow up quick and fucking fight wars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you got to realize you're only about 2 generations beyond when the Berlin Wall went down and the fall. I mean, you're only about 2 generations beyond that.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
Fucking culture over there still.
What was that? Was that 84?
I thought it was 86.
86? 86 sounds.
That was about 86 when that went. So I mean, you're talking 3 decades. Yeah, about two generations maybe of people.
Goodness.
Plus all the fucking boomers that still.
Yeah, that still exists.
Don't even know what the fucking. A lot of people don't even know what the Berlin Wall is these days.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Well, Gen Z probably doesn't have a clue.
From that,
millennials were children
from fucking gulags and all that crazy bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you are not far removed from what they used to be.
Yeah,
true. I do remember the fall of the USSR vaguely.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something, though? There's some fucking sweet USSR watches on eBay that you can buy. Some, like, fucking retro ones that, like, from back in the day, bro.
Okay.
And these things are fucking sweet. Like, I've been thinking about ordering one.
USSR watch. What is that?
Dude.
It's probably got a fucking hammer and sickle on it. Everything still, too.
Dude,
Dude, they're fucking kind of cool.
Oh, no.
Oh, speaking of Russia, that Alex Terrible, that metalhead,
Okay.
that lead singer of, God, I don't know the name of the band, but whatever. So, I mean, like you and I had discovered, he actually can make the noises that he can fucking make.
Right, which is insane.
Which is cool. And then he actually debuted, he did his first professional fight in bare knuckle.
Oh, really?
Anyone.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Dude, check out some of these watches, though. Like, they're fucking, like, kind of legit, dude. They're fucking classy.
Spy watches.
Dude, they're kind of cool.
I mean,
You'd rock one. Dude, come on.
Does it have a hammer and sickle?
No.
No, they don't. But
They're just...
I would rock that one. That one I would.
That one's cool. I've never been a big fan of the brown band.
That. I like that one.
There's some pretty cool ones that they have.
I would actually rock that watch.
There's some pretty
That's
cool.
a good looking watch.
And I mean, it's from the fucking 1980s.
Yeah.
Aviation 1980s of the fucking...
How
what do you
very
wear at a
retro.
USR watch? You know, like... Get one of our fucking military customers in there.
I don't know. Where does the money go?
To some seller on eBay.
Yeah.
That's made a
bad
collection.
night. That's when she misses on the downstroke.
That's when you try to go in and go back in too hard.
You know you can dislocate that.
I had a friend in high school that his name was Captain Hook. Because he was doing a handrail and really fucked his shit up. And ever since then, it went like that.
Oh, good God.
And hooked.
Did he show everybody?
No, I always just heard it, and we may have done some things, you know, an Eiffel Tower, you know, or something here and there. And the first time I saw it, I fucking was shocked.
So you did see it.
I did see it.
You did see it, yeah.
I was like a deer in the fucking headlights, bro. Like, I forgot everything I was doing, and I was like, fuck, it does look like a hook.
Yeah. Arr.
One of my best friends in the world, but yeah, we called him Captain Hook since the time he was in, like, 9th grade, and I never got the
that's
reference till I was in my early 20s.
So I wonder if he had to. I wonder if he had to angle it like at like a 45 so he didn't piss on his shoes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the same flaccid as it was erect.
Well, you didn't check?
No, I only saw it like erect, and it was fucking weird.
Well, you should call him and ask.
right.
You should find him. Have an interview with
I
him.
don't know
we
if
haven't
he's in a
talked-
penitentiary
I know we
at
haven't
this point,
talked in
but-
20 years, but I just want to know about
Yeah.
your wiener.
We've talked.
how do
I've
you
kept in
pee?
contact with him.
How
But
do you pee?
last time I know, he was in a Nevada penitentiary
Oh, bummer.
in the fire unit, but I think
he
he
get
got out since then.
Did he get caught with 1 gram of marijuana? And went
No,
to
so
prison for
seriously,
life?
this dude was fucking hardcore growing up, right? Like, we did a lot of shit together, did a lot of dirt together, and this motherfucker, like, went to Nevada and got caught with, like, a few grams of fucking weed and was doing over a year on it.
Yeah.
Like in the fire camps, everything, like, it's fucking hardcore,
They threw
bro.
you in jail for seeds there, man.
Yes.
They were hardcore.
So he got out and then he went up back on another charge now. But like when he was in Nevada, yeah, it was literally over a couple grams of weed. And I was like, oh, go fuck yourself. Like, you didn't get over a year in fucking Nevada for that. And he showed me his paperwork and I was like, what the fuck?
For something you could smoke in one session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was from Utah. They went to Nevada to go do some other kind of dirt, right? And had weed on them just to smoke
So they hit 'em on
personally
state
and got
lines.
caught with it.
So they hit him like crossing state
Fucking
lines kind of thing?
hit him, bro.
Wow.
Like, hit him hard. And that was back when, I don't know if the sheriff's still in if he's still there, but it was when they wore the pink jumpsuits in the fucking desert and did all that shit.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, so he was part of that program, man.
Oh, boy.
And then it was so horrible.
I thought that was Texas.
Arapaho or something like that.
No, I saw the documentary about that. Yeah.
So he ended up transferring out of that to the fire unit, which was a lot better, right? But I mean, these are guys in prison fighting fucking wildfires in the fucking forest. Like, who cares if they die? But I mean, you're in your own
gets
little
you early
camp
release,
and,
though.
yeah,
You know, it helps with early release.
Yeah.
That was the big part of that program, is
I'd take that over living in prison.
because you were already on good behavior as it stood. So hey, you're on good behavior, got some little bit of time left. You want to go do this and fucking like half your sentence here, you know.
the only
shorten
time it
up a
sucks
little,
is when
quite a
you're
bit.
sentenced, you don't get good time. But I still went and worked in the kitchen. I was fat. I ate so much. And it was a job, bro. Like, I hadn't fucking 8-9 hour job a day when I was fucking in prison. Like, I woke up at, 3 o'clock in the morning and went to the fucking kitchen. It was a job.
I'm sure it'd be better than sitting in Gen Pop or hanging out in your cell or doing nothing.
Well, the big difference is Gen Pop, you got like a 2-man cell opposed to, like, at least where I was at, you got, your trustees. And you're working in the kitchen, or it's cleaning crew in that unit, and you got an 8-man cell. But the only benefit, there's more people in the cell,
8 men.
but you got a wall that actually has fucking 2 sides to it to shit in.
Oh, nice.
There's only one open way. In a fucking 2-man cell, it's fucking wide open.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
So that was kind of nice. And if you worked in the kitchen, they had the only bathroom you could use as an inmate that fucking locked behind you, and you could go in alone.
Oh, wow.
Which was huge.
Yeah. And imagine, I just couldn't imagine that being something you had to be concerned about.
Bro, I'm going to tell you, I almost cried. Like, the first time I was in there for like a year, maybe a little bit less. And I got actually into the kitchen trustee status, was able to work in the kitchen, worked my way up, and I was able to use a bathroom that fucking locked behind me and had a door.
Right.
And I shit in peace. And had no one fucking dead walking me fucking from across the room or anything like that. Like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Probably let the best growler out.
Oh, dude. And that's where all the fights happen too. Like, I don't get it. Like, you would go fucking in the bathroom, lock the doors, fucking beat the shit out of each other, clean each other up with the water, let each other out, act like friends. It makes no sense.
Yeah. I don't get that mentality either, but I guess it's a good thing I'm not in prison.
All I know is they had pink sugar cookies, like those fucking good ones you get, right? Like almost the grandma's cookies from the gas station.
Yeah.
And they used to put those in the diet carts. And for some reason, there's always a bunch of extra trays. So every day I'd go raid these diet carts and get fucking 9 pink cookies.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, fucking eat them all. I was so fat.
I was going to say, how much did those fetch you?
Bro. Free. I was in the kitchen.
No, I'm saying you could have traded those.
Oh, yeah. So I did. So you put a couple of those in your pants and you give them to the guards, and they don't really care what else you take out of the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a fucking game.
Nice.
It was pretty cool.
I don't want to go to prison.
No.
This has been brought to you by Derek. Don't go to prison.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
You may not like it.
But if you do get a job.
Hey, but I've met people that like being in there. So there is that too. There are people that
Bro, it's like county. There's so much homeless people that go in. Because think about it, bro. It's fucking snowing. It's fucking raining here. It's fucking wet. It's fucking sucks. It's cold. You're in a shelter. You have a fucking room. You have a roommate. And you get 3 meals.
a shower.
A shower and get to watch TV.
Yeah. 3 hots in a cot.
Fucking in.
No bill at the end of your visit.
I met a number of people.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's what it was about. They're just like, hey, dude, I like being here. Like,
the only time I didn't.
It's better here than it is out there.
Utah tried for a 4 to 5 year stretch to do a pay to stay. So if you got booked in and you stayed, they would charge you for your stay. But do you? How many people do you think actually paid that? Fucking 0.
Yeah.
0 inmates.
Yeah.
So it was a pay to stay. It was like $40 a day that they would try to put on you as fines, and then they finally it was unconstitutional or this and that
Because you were being held against your will.
It's almost like debtor's prison in a way or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it was fucking really weird, but that was only for a few years, and that went away. And of course, you didn't have to pay any of the fees or
That'd be
fines.
crazy.
Or,
That'd be insane.
well, it's like back in the 80s. My dad told
You're
me.
on 5. Say you're in there for 5 years. They're trying to charge you $40 a day for 5
Yep.
years. Pooh. That's some money.
My dad got raided in like 1989. And like a few months later, he got called back, and the state of Utah was doing this. And I asked him, he said it's true. I've talked to a couple other old people that said it was true. They called you and said, oh, we can get this taken care of if you come in and pay for your drug stamps, like your taxes on them. Like it was a drug tax stamp that you get, but it was to catch people that were stupid, that were selling drugs and this and that. And they were trying to, well, if you're selling this amount, come get your fucking drugs tax stamp and you can fucking get out of it, basically.
Hello,
My dad was like, are people fucking retards? Like,
hello, it's the government.
yeah.
Just wanted to let you know. For
It didn't work out too
for
well.
those drugs you have. You got your tax stamp. Come
yes.
on in, and it'll get everything all sorted out and taken care of with your tax stamp.
Good afternoon. This is your local sheriff department. I've been trying to contact you in regards to your drug stamps.
Yeah,
Pay your tariff,
yeah.
and we'll let you go.
Especially back then, when everyone knows what. I mean, it's like everything's illegal back then.
Yeah, so it says information. This tax was imposed on the seller possession of illegal drugs in Utah.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
You can't make them pay a tax and then throw them in prison, or throw them in prison for a crime and then tax them on the profits of that crime.
Speaking of tax, did you hear the other new little bits that is being floated?
No, to be honest, I have been so busy with some other things, personal things, that I haven't been paying a lot of attention.
So one thing that's been floated is getting rid of federal income tax.
I mean, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice for a company that's not technically a government agency it'd be nice if they stopped robbing me at gunpoint,
So here's one right here.
basically?
Well, it's like, on paper, it's like I make decent money on paper. It's not like I'm poor or I'm not super rich. I'm not poor or any of that. I'm just like, I'm there. I make a paycheck.
But 40% of it?
Good God. Yeah, they'd be like, oh, well, you make decent money. I'm like, yeah, on the gross. Fuck
Yeah.
the taxes, man. On the net, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Here we go. In 1991, Utah passed a law requiring anyone in possession of illegal drugs to purchase a tax stamp to affix to the drugs. The drugs tax stamp does not make the drugs legal. However, you can be charged with a separate crime for failing to have a tax stamp affixed to drugs in your possession.
Yeah, that must have been tax evasion.
So it was fucking...
Yeah, because I think they were trying to find another way to get you. Because, I mean,
A lot of
thinking
states
about
did
this,
this.
I remember having conversations about this in the past. And I think it was something to the tune of finding a way to fine you more for the proceeds you made from selling or distributing drugs.
I could see them trying to do something like that. I mean, they try and tax on anything and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Either way, who called and fucking ordered those stamps? Like, are you fucking stupid?
The same guy who called the cops because his drug dealer ripped him off.
It's going to
That
be,
guy.
no, you know who it is.
Or the same guy that got too stoned was like, I'm so high right now.
Yeah,
Or-
I think
or
I'm gonna
the-
die. We ate too many chocolates.
The guy who moved from a different state and was like, oh, well, that's what they do here? Oh, okay. Well, I'll register now then.
Why did you sound like Officer B.R.B?
I wonder why.
Nothing to see here, kids.
Nothing
Nothing
to
along. Oh boy!
But I could see that moving from, say, a California or an Oregon,
Colorado.
or a Colorado or a Washington. One of those places. They'd be like, oh, wow, it's so nice here.
To
Like,
fucking Utah where they have fucking the worst laws in the
I
world.
have to
Like,
get-
who would
Yeah.
move there and wonder, oh, can I sell drugs here?
Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to know if I just grow some good herbs in my basement and distribute them amongst my friends. Is that okay?
yeah, you need a tax stamp for that.
Oh, how much, bro? I don't know.
It's wild.
Pretty
It's
broke.
fucking
It's
wild.
about $50.
Like, I'm not in this for profit. I'm not one of those corporate-y places that are corporate-y and make money.
I just grow it for my own supply, dude.
I just want to spread the love amongst the world.
Yeah,
and
it's
snowboard.
$75 a month in taxes.
That's too much, bro. That's way too much. You're oppressing me. That's oppression, bro. I need that $75 for the payment on my wheels for my Honda.
Oh, tires are cheap for a Honda, bro.
Oh no, tires are fucking expensive right
That's
now.
$75 a month for 120 months, bro.
Well, hey,
I spent like $500 on a fucking Ford Fusion.
when the cost of oil starts going down, tires will get cheaper. Just saying, because that's what it takes. It takes a lot of oil to make some tires.
It sure does.
Tires, oil, everything, bro.
How do they get that oil, David?
Drill, baby, drill.
I paid for an oil change yesterday, and I was kind of shocked.
Oh, I got
$75 for a fucking Fusion oil change.
Oh, I
Well,
have
that thing probably holds what, five
It's
and
about
a half?
5.5,
Maybe.
6
Maybe.
at
Half
best.
quarts, yeah.
What engine do you have in that?
It's a V6.
The smallest one.
Well, is it,
That's a
is it
4-cylinder.
Is it okay? So is
Oh.
it 2 liter 2.5?
Yeah.
Well,
So,
that's
2 liter 2.5. That's probably about 5.5, 6 quarts at best.
is it turboed?
I don't think it's
know.
the EcoBoost. It may have
Maybe.
been. Maybe a 1.5.
It's a 2020.
That could have a 1.5.
It's a
Eco in that.
2020.
1.5 to 2
If
liter.
it's turboed, it takes more oil than the non-turbo.
Oh, no. It's just,
But I mean, dude,
especially being an old mechanic, like
My
working in a family shop,
Dude,
like
yeah.
having to pay these prices.
my
Like, fuck.
F-150 is like $143.
Well, it's diesel.
Yeah.
I denied getting my tires rotated and a car wash, and I still got charged for it.
You don't get charged for those things, sir.
I got charged labor for all of them. I can show you my invoice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh.
I got charged for those and then parts and then my oil. Like there's 3 different charges
Well,
on there, and it was
there's-
like 20 something bucks to the tech, which I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care, but still I didn't get my tires rotated. I didn't get a car wash.
Oh. Well, you'll have to take that up with your person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, yeah.
Well, what I'm going to say is getting back to the IRS thing, I do understand that the money for subsidies has to come somewhere, but I don't believe in a non-government agency getting to be involved in that. It's really just like it's the biggest racket. The IRS is the biggest racket out there.
Well, you got to realize, like, this is where I stand on it is every year they keep jacking taxes up more and more
Yeah.
because they need more and more funding because we have all that. So at least one thing I'm looking forward to if it actually happens is cutting the fucking fat
Yeah,
out of the
big
government.
time. Yeah.
Because the government does not need this much money to run efficiently
No.
and run good. Did you hear that they were sending $50 million to Gaza
Oh, good God.
for condoms?
For what?
Condoms. $50 million in condoms
Bullshit.
to go to Gaza.
Is there even that many wieners going on right now?
Tell me that's not a slush.
Do they use condoms in Gaza? I don't think that part of the world believes in doing that.
I think they use gauze for their wieners in Gaza.
Tell me if I'm ignorant. This isn't intended to sound ignorant.
They still use pig intestines.
I don't think procreation, I don't think sex for pleasure is looked at that way over that. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me. It's cool. I won't be mad.
That's where they have it. I'm not going to say all of the culture,
Yeah.
but a lot of those. I mean, you can hear a lot of war stories from guys that spent time in Afghanistan and shit like that.
Yeah.
Were, and that's why I'm not trying to put it as all of them. But who knows? They probably have those little fuck boys. They probably have a little fuck boy.
They should use condoms. The point of the matter is it's not our goddamn responsibility to worry about condoms in Gaza.
You hear about like all the
Pull the intestine out of the goat and use that again.
like you hear
Yeah.
about a lot of the grooming gangs and shit like that in the UK that's going on. I mean, that's the thing. Gaza, who knows? But culturally, I would say it's not frowned upon to do stuff like that.
Well, all I'm saying is, I'm all about like everybody in the world like having peace and prospering and but you know what would be great?
What?
Seeing $50 million go to help resolving
Our problems.
unemployment, infrastructure
exactly.
issues.
Our problems.
Our problems.
Yeah.
Ours, not the world's. We're not the fucking
and
world police.
Billions and billions of dollars that just get offshored here.
Yeah.
Why don't we
and
stop
then-
being the world police? They have enough police all over the world. They have
Yes.
fucking armies.
Yes.
Like,
Well,
let's just worry about ourselves.
Unless we are completely provoked, cool.
Yeah.
I will totally understand it.
But not fuck you.
But and not lying, saying there's weapons of mass destruction when, there weren't.
And we have them all.
Yeah.
Baka
And,
Laka Shakistan.
you attack who actually attacked us instead of
Yeah.
places that had.
Well, the proxy
no
war
bearing
is the
reason.
modern war.
It is. And that's why, Russia wholeheartily believes that, they are at war with the U.S. in a lot of ways. Because even though we are not directly involved, the amount of money and weapons and training and everything that we have sent over there, you can't say that we're not at war.
Well, and say what you want, call us conspiracy theorists, whatever, I don't care. I want to see receipts from my state and federal governments for where this money that I'm paying is going, and not just like, we spent $50 million on condoms. No, I want to know where they bought it and how much they paid per condom.
Yeah. And did they actually give it out?
Yeah, I want them to prove to me that this money isn't getting funneled back in or funneled out to other entities for reasons that they are not disclosing.
Now, if you want to
Americans.
get really conspiratorial, here you go. So we actually have members of Congress that have sympathy for things going on in that particular region. How do you know it couldn't have been someone that actually just tried to get a bill sponsored saying, oh, we'll send 50 million in condoms, and it's actually going to someone like Hamas or something?
Right, exactly. Getting funneled over to radical groups.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be the first time that we funded a radical group in order to, quote unquote, handle a mutual enemy, because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or if you believe in that kind of philosophy.
Just saying, that is definitely a thing of, oh, there's 50 million in condoms. Okay, yeah, sure. It was probably a sympathizer.
Show me the fucking condoms.
Who has some power and leverage, and granted, it's 50 million. I mean, God, that's a drop in the bucket for what we've spent here in the last year under the Biden
How many
administration.
condoms is 50 million? Though?
That's a lot of fucking.
You know
condoms.
how many?
I don't even think there's enough people in Gaza
There's
for those
not.
condoms.
How many condom factories could you build with 50 million?
Yeah,
That's the correct question.
Do they all have magnums over there? Just saying.
I don't wanna
that's
know.
more material.
that's why they're so expensive.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I would. Oh God! All right, before we get off,
before we get
Whoa,
off and they get
whoa.
off.
God,
Into the condoms.
boy,
Am
we
I
start
right?
with a pun and basically end with a pun almost. I'm
like
gonna
it was
I'm gonna
meant
do
to
something
be.
real quick. Let's. Oh God, I haven't. What are the brands? Trojan
Durex.
Trojan man.
condom.
We're not going with fucking side brands, bro. Trojan.
All right, so let's see here. You can get Walgreens has a variety pack for $11.99. Now, this is the government. That's too cheap.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here.
Will those condoms protect our wieners against thermonuclear warfare?
We have $19.99. What is the most? $17.99. What the hell? My size, my custom fit condom from One Condoms.
$17.99.
I almost want to click on that. Like, what's a my one size?
How many times can you use it?
That's what I'm trying. That, like in my head,
Is
that's what I'm getting at. Is this fucker reusable?
It's got to be. Can you clean it out?
God,
Let's
I
see
hope
here.
not.
It has 10 lengths and 9 widths.
10 lengths and 9 widths.
Made with advanced.
Is this one of those cut your own? Cut to size. I'm not fucking in.
Synthetex, I'm guessing. Softer latex, hyper thin and extra lubricated. Triple tested reservoir tip.
But what if you don't? So there's 10 different. So there's 10 different
What the
sizes.
fuck is
So-
it? What is triple tested?
So wait.
So
Three
there's-
people tested, or does one person
Exactly.
tested 3 times?
With it still on, so it's like, hey, this fucker didn't come off at all or pop.
Bro, I
got-
had a grapefruit in there, and it was still good.
I've got it. You said like 10 different sizes though. So what if you're like the 2-incher? Are you taking that to the counter and it
All
says
right.
2-incher?
You can get one of those at your local restaurant supply store. They're called a finger cot, and you put it over
So
the Band-Aid.
this is their marketing materials. Think of all condoms the same. Think again. We spend every day trying to make condoms better
Every
with
day.
hundreds of designs. Their condoms feature a variety of wrapper designs. Oh, cool! So Christmas time. You can make it look like a present.
Just pull the bow, honey.
Yeah.
And then it shoots out sparkles and
It's
stuff.
softer than other forms of latex. Softer latex stretches and moves with the body for a smoother and more comfortable experience.
I want to know how this is tested.
I don't.
Okay, so this, all right, so they're testing, they say it is electronically tested for safety, and every batch is vigorously tested to surpass the highest worldwide testing standards.
Do they use one of those wands when they test? Do they put it in a wand?
Okay, so...
Like a Hitachi?
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean.
They do have a PowerPoint-looking chart for the size that you would choose for yourself.
Oh, man, I want to be the guy designing the PowerPoint presentation for size choice.
Ranging from letter C to letter M.
Guy with letter C.
M is Mandingo.
What is C?
C is
Charlie.
They're rating C for
Christian.
Average length of about 4.7 inches.
Caucasian.
So what happens if mine's smaller?
All the way up to letter M, which is 9+ inches.
Mongolia.
Yes. Apparently, a regular length condom is 7 inches, compared to a magnum length, which is 7.5.
They only give you an extra half in a Magnum?
So that's what a magnum is. So it's about length, not width.
So Magnum's not with width?
No.
I swear it was thicker.
I wouldn't know. I
I
very rarely wore condoms.
You haven't jerked off with all of them?
No. I
There
wore
were science experiments done.
So, all right. So these guys, I mean, this is kind of, it's hilarious to read.
You guys
through
buy
this.
condoms? I thought you just use a bread bag.
That's what I kind of thought. I mean,
Saran
dude,
wrap.
pull up method. Just saying. All right. So, anyways, I'm getting on a tangent here. So let's do the $23.99. They have a set for $23.99 because that's about what the government would do. They never go for the cheapest. They always fucking spend more money because that's what they do.
Of course.
So we got $50 million.
I don't even know if I can make 50 million a number on my calculator.
That's
You can.
That's
I don't know if I could really make that a number though, just with my head. How many zeros is millions?
It's 2,084,201 boxes of condoms. That box of condoms contained 36.
Oh, you're not going to
condoms.
get a number. You're going to get an error on your calculator.
I will get an error on this. Times 36. Oh, here we go. 75,031,263 condoms. Now, let's go over
So
here.
do they just supply all of Planned Parenthood through the whole United States?
Now, let's do this quick Google search. Population
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Gaza. 2.142 million as of 2024.
And you said 75 million?
They're fucking.
75 million.
They're fucking.
So,
They're smashing.
They're smashing pumpkins.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're smashing.
that's a lot of condoms for a population of 2 million. I mean,
Can I move
literally.
to Gaza?
Yeah, no kidding. Apparently, that's where all the fun's
That's where the
at.
banging's going down.
I mean, that's every man, woman, and child.
They're all having fun.
It's basically a box. What, a box per person?
It's
Almost.
the
Yeah, it's
biggest-
a box per person.
Dude, Pornhub needs to get involved because this is the biggest orgy I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Per
no
person.
kidding.
Wow.
You
Guinness Book of World
I'd be
Records
curious
needs
what the
to go.
demographic makeup of that is. Like, how many actual adult men are in that country?
How many adult men can still get erections in that country? To even use one. They don't have fucking Viagra, do they?
I'm sure they probably have something like that.
They've got
over
seeded the goat.
Probably something like that.
there. De goat.
But anyways, gentlemen, I don't know. After doing some math, my brain hurts.
Yeah, I've been mathing too much today, and my
Yeah.
brain hurts too.
So, with that, everybody, we hope you had a great time with us. Again, like, share, subscribe if you made it this far with us. We'll see you next week, Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, without fail, as always. We love you.